Hey, what's up? It's DMac SMaK for September 16th, 2025. We'll get to an underwhelming performance by both the Chargers and the Raiders in just a little bit, but today we focus on Prime and CU and what they should do next. Brought to you by Journey Spice. Flavor in, plastic out. We love Journey Spice, and no matter what you've got Journey Spice on, it's going to taste delicious. So make sure you use this QR code. And again, every delicious dish starts with Journey Spice, non-GMO, non-salt, no sugar, just absolute incredible goodness in singles, doubles, quads. You can get it all by using the code Get Spicy and save 10% at Amazon.com. Click on this QR code and it'll get you going. We love you, Journey Spice. More on Journey Spice in just a little bit, as always. But today we start with Prime. And after the game where they were hapless against Houston, he addressed the team.
I felt like we would overcome it. Right now, to be honest with you, I'm lost for words because there's no way anybody could have told me that we were going to come down here and get our butt kicked. When I'm talking about getting your butts kicked, when we give up 209 yards rushing, that means we were out physical. And when we only gained 96 yards running the football, that means we weren't physical. We gave up certain plays. Everybody in here that played in the game could account for at least a play or two that you won't back, that you didn't make the best of your opportunity. And that's what life consists of, opportunity. If you don't make the best of your opportunity, there's no way you could be successful. Then if you had those opportunities, and you got to figure out why you keep not taking advantage of the opportunity. We find ourselves in a losing position.
Too often, Prime goes into motivational mood and not X's and O's mood. And sometimes the motivational mood is exactly what is needed. And sometimes X's and O's are what's needed. And to say you didn't take the best advantage of your opportunity or whatever that TED Talk was belies the fact that it's a team that just doesn't know what they're doing on the field. I think there's probably a lot of talented young men out there. I think there's probably a lot of good coaches there. And if Pat Shurmur ain't the guy, then move on. A lot of Broncos fans could have told you that a million years ago. But Prime defended him. He defends his coaches and seems to put the onus on the kids like, if you're not performing well, it's because you're not trying hard enough. Something like that. And there's just not a lot of coaching. There's a lot of motivating going on, but there's not necessarily a lot of coaching. And to say that you have a plan, I got a plan, and this, that, the other thing, you don't have a plan. There's no real plan here. You wouldn't be on your third quarterback, Ryan Staub, who seems like a nice enough kid. But, I mean, what is the plan? You bring in Salter from Liberty, get him a bunch of NIL, and then you break the bank, or, theoretical breaking the college NIL bank with JuJu Lewis as your quarterback. And so when Romy Bean asked him about the quarterback situation, this is a bad response.
I have no idea. right now. Right now, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what transpired and how can we prevent what transpired from happening again. I'm trying to self-analyze, like me first. What can I do better?
Well, you could have made a plan for the team and stuck to it. And there is no plan. Let's face it. Ryan Staub said that he was told the night before that he'd be going in to the Delaware game in some sort of wacky pregame rotation, which I actually don't have that big of a problem with. But what was the plan in the first place? Why have Salter and Lewis here? Listen, the rest of the schedule is somewhat brutal for CU. I mean, it is Wyoming, which, I hope you get over on Wyoming on Parents Weekend. Scobus, CU parent now. I'll be sort of there. Actually, I'll be at Rally House in Boulder from 4 to 6 p.m. and then maybe go over to the game and then maybe leave early. I don't know. I don't know what the party scene is like, and you know how big of a party person I am. Then you got BYU. Well, they're probably all 30 years in average age. At TCU, brutally tough. Iowa State ain't no joke. Utah's going to be tough. Arizona, West Virginia, ASU, KSU. Point to me the wins here. Where exactly are the wins in this particular schedule? And you're kind of at the point right now, if you're prime, where wins are going to be tough to come by, but the one thing you can do this year is get experience for the quarterback that you theoretically stole or redshirt him. But I would play him. I would play JuJu Lewis, who I think has turned 18, even though he was 17, as we all are for 1 year, but recently has turned 18 or about to. It is what it is this year. And Salter, okay, it ain't him. Well, it certainly isn't Ryan Staub. So if JuJu Lewis isn't ready, then you just gotta roll with it. And probably suck up some tough learning. But if not, why would JuJu Lewis even stay here? Why would Jordan Seaton stay here? Frankly, why would any quality player stay here if there's not a firm plan for quarterback? So I get it. They like Ryan Staub. He's around. They probably had, lunch with him at the UMC or bowled with him there. Who knows? But in the high stakes world of Division I football, you got to go with what your plan was. And your plan was JuJu Lewis. So it might look ugly. It might look rough. Peyton Manning set a record for interceptions in his rookie year in the NFL that stands to this day. Nobody likes losing. But in light of what you theoretically committed to with JuJu Lewis in the first place, you should probably stick to that plan. Now, will Prime stick around? I really don't know. And losing is hard. And there's a lot of losing likely to come. Because when you're more about motivational speeches than about coaching, then you're going to get losses. And it's cool that, there's so many ex-NFL guys. T.O. was standing behind Prime and that little TED Talk. All right, that's cool. That's awesome. But that's not X's and O's. And there needs to be a little bit more of that. We'll get to the Monday night game with the Chargers and the Raiders in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Get spicy and save 10% at Amazon.com. This is leverage. You can't do this. And Sean Payton explained that DeAndre Tillman was supposed to be over number 90, and he wasn't over number 90. I guess he's over number 68, jumping up on top of him. And there's DJ Jones. And boy, they just barely missed actually tipping that kick, did they? Oh, wait, no, they didn't. And Sean Payton admitted it was his fault, and it is his fault. Tillman, as Parker Gabriel noted, had not lined up in that position all year or ever. For whatever reason, you called a field goal block that would have been more appropriate to take chances on a 35-yard field goal, not a 60-yarder. 60-yarder, you just stand there with a dart in your hand, as Mark Mosier said, and you just let him kick it. If he makes it, he makes it. Sean Payton screwed this one up, along with Darren Rizzi, and they just didn't have it coached the right way. And losing games that you don't coach the right way is really tough. Sometimes when coaches say, hey, this is all on me, sometimes they're not just talking cliche, they're right. And the Broncos lost this game incredibly. The second year in a row, poor coaching on special teams led to a loss, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. The Broncos have done that against the Chiefs last year, and now they've done it against the Colts. That sucks, and that will inevitably come back to haunt you some way, somehow. Next is the Chargers, and when you looked at the Chargers and the Raiders, for a while, the Chargers looked like an unstoppable team. Like, this is going to be a problem, but something happened. It kind of all just slowed down. And meanwhile, did anybody really think that Geno Smith was the truth? And 90-year-old Pete Carroll was going to be the answer. I understand Tom Brady's up there cheating for Fox Sports and the Raiders, but so what? Max Crosby is a great player, but they couldn't put a touchdown against the Chargers last night, losing 20-9, even though the Chargers were begging them to come back in that game by playing so poorly in the fourth quarter. I was stunned how bad the Chargers actually were. Justin Herbert is a great quarterback, but for whatever reason, folks, the Chargers are always going to Charger. That is in their DNA. So what looked impossible for most at the beginning of the year, to me, is a bit of a head scratcher if the Broncos can put it together. But the Chargers faltered in the fourth, as did the Broncos. Which team will sort of ride the wave to moderately good play? But the Chargers aren't impossible, and the Raiders are crap. The Raiders are just the Raiders, okay? That hasn't changed at all. You should get 2 wins against the Raiders. You should at least split against the Chargers. So on the surface, I'd still take the Chargers, I guess. But they're not world beaters. They are not. They are not world beaters, and the Broncos got a shot. And that's probably the best news of the day, that they're not insanely favored. In fact, they're only a 2.5-point favor over the Broncos. It's more or less a pick 'em sort of game. So we'll see. We'll see if the Broncos can sort of lick their wounds and come back and do better. I hope they can, and we'll dig deeper into the game as the week goes on. But we know this loss is on Sean Payton and the coaches against the Colts on special teams, which is a bummer. The defense did not play great, but the offense played well enough to win. The Broncos played well enough to win. Shane Steichen was an idiot what he was thinking near the end, but he lucked out, and the Broncos, for some inexplicable reason, called a field goal block that they hadn't called all game, and DeAndre Tillman was in a position he's never been in his life. That's on coaching. That, my friends, is on coaching. The Chargers, not impossible. Tough, but not impossible. I'll pick the Chargers right now. We'll see how the week goes, and we'll talk about it every day from noon to 3 with Columbus, Hastings, and DMac. So, to recap, start JuJu Lewis. You got nothing to lose. All your good players are going to transfer anyways if you don't. So, you may as well go with the young man. And in terms of the Broncos and the Chargers, it's going to be interesting. And a side note, folks, today the Miami Marlins are in town. Your Colorado Rockies stand at 41 wins. They've got a dozen games to go. All they need to do is win one more game, so I don't have to do the March Towards History, which is from our Lone Tree Studios down to Coors Field. And I vowed to do that when the Rockies were projected to win 36 games. So they went on a bit of a heater. Unless Warren Schaefer can get the team to 50 wins, 9 wins out of the last 12, which I highly doubt, then he deserves to go. But getting 42 wins at the end of the day, you can't be the worst team ever if you don't have the worst record ever. Right now, they're tied for it. They haven't lost 9 games this entire season, never mind 12. So inevitably, they'll fall into a win. Will it happen tonight? We all just hang on the edge of our seats with bated breath to see if the Rockies can tonight not be the worst team of all time. And in the infamous words of Mike McDaniel,
to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.
Go kick today in the teeth, and we'll talk to you at noon.